Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is EonShiKeno. I'm going to catch the game today on Zelnaga Caverns between some unknown red Zerg player down here in the bottom left part of the map, and at the top we've got NEXSickness. So NEXSickness is our blue Protoss player of Clan Nex, which also has the very well-known NEXSickness, so hopefully he is among good company and a very good player. This is a game off the Korean ladder, I think, and we've got a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Our Zerg player is sending his Overlord through the middle of the map, and our Protoss player is going to go up here and do some scouting. Let's see what we got going. Where our Zerg player, he is saving up his money. He's at 13 drones. He stopped droning and looks like he's just going to go for a safe pool build. So something we don't see very much from Korean players, at least that I have seen in replays. Most of them just prefer to go with the hatch first build, but this Zerg player going with a much safer build. And at the same time, NEXSickness is going for a cannon. Is he actually going to try and wall in his opponent? He might. His probe is up there looking around ready to go, but Overlord is going to be able to spot this. He doesn't have a drone down there to stop it. At that entrance on patrol, he does see with this Overlord, and it looks like there it goes. There's that second pylon. He's going to throw down a cannon, more than likely. So I'm kind of confused why this Protoss player, NEXSickness, would go for a wall off whenever his opponent isn't going for an expansion. A little bit confusing to me. So he is, what's he building? He's going to wait. He has to wait for 150 minerals, and he can build his cannon. He's going to build his cannon. There it goes. He's building it way down here. Okay, so if he's going to put it way down here, that means he's going to try and cannon walk up to the top of the ramp, more than likely. And it's just going to come down to whether or not this Zerg player can kill that. He's already putting up a spine crawler. Very smart. Get that spine crawler down. It'll be able to kill this photon cannon. But yeah, he's pulling those drones back and get those Zerglings in there. They'll attack much faster. He's actually canceling that. If he can kill this one pylon, that'll be handy. And wow, just throwing out more pylons to keep him out, and then canceling all of them, and then putting up one more to go for the wall off, and putting another photon cannon. But he did leave enough room to get that probe in there. Actually, he did use the pylon trick, but now he's just canceling pylons left and right. Seems like he's wasting a lot of money. Anyways, what is he? He just, okay, he canceled that one. Now he's putting it back here because it's failed. So, man, this is like the worst pylon wall-in I've ever seen. I don't know. I mean, he's delaying the expansion, but I mean, he's not expanding himself, and he's got no units, while his opponent has a bunch of Zerglings and a spine crawler. So, yeah, NEXSickness definitely must not be getting enough pointers from NEXSgenius. Anyways, these Zerglings are going to be able to take down that more than likely. And even if they can't look, they won't be able to take that down before this photon cannon finishes. And he's just going to move the spine crawler up here in position after this creep tumor finishes, take this out. And NEXSickness has wasted so much money on these pylons, canceling like 6 or 7 of them. Now he's running up here, sacrificing a probe to do some scouting. He's going to see the Roach-Warren, which is kind of obvious at this point in the game. He's either going to go Roach-Warren or Banelings at this point to break open the pylons. But he's flying this Overlord around. He sees the 2 gas. He sees that he just now has this gateway. And did he just see that Cybernex core? He has to assume that's a Cybernex core. So yeah, I mean, he's way ahead of his opponent. And he's even building more photon cannons. Why is he doing this? He's gonna excuse me, reposition that spine crawler and take out both of those pylons, and he's just using these photon cannons. I'm kind of confused why this Protoss player is wasting all this money on just delaying this Zerg player from expanding whenever he was planning on, you know, going for a pool first build anyway. Kind of odd, but we have his macro hatch down in his main. Definitely gonna need that macro hatch because you can. On one base, you definitely need a second hatchery to produce. Even if you're going if you're using all of your larvae from your queen, doing all those larval injects, you still need to get that second hatchery up if you're on one base. It's just it's kind of necessary, especially if you want to make a bunch of drones. Suiciding another probe in. Let's check that probe count. I'm kind of curious. He's only had 28 to 25, and I mean, I guess considering how many probes he's lost and how many pylons he had to cancel, that kind of makes up for all of the wasted money. So hatchery's almost finished getting those Overlords out. What is he going for? Getting a glial reconstitution. So I'm expecting him to wait for this roach speed to finish, and he may just run straight past these cannons and go attack his opponent. His opponent is throwing up more pylons in his base, more gateways, researching Corona boost, getting sentries. So this Protoss player is being extremely annoying. Pushing him to the spine crawler just a little bit. He should be able to take this photon cannon, and he's actually he needs to cancel that creep tumor, cancel it, and he lets it finish. Wow, 2 life. That was close. That was extremely close for that creep tumor. I would have just played it safe and canceled it. But now he's bringing a sentry down here to wall off that entrance. Oh man, this Protoss player, Sickness, is he doesn't want this guy to get out of his base. He's going for a ridiculous contain. And all those roaches are out. He's probably waiting for that speed to finish, suiciding a probe up there. And not sure what he saw. He probably saw those roaches. So second queen now, so he's going to have more than enough larvae now. Waiting for sending out some zerglings. And oh, that was a good trade. Trading a force field for actually 2 zerglings. That was a pretty good trade, I would say. He has enough for 1 more force field still. Burrow hasn't started researching yet. He's just massing up a whole bunch of roaches at this point. He's probably just going to try and bust his opponent. And Sickness is definitely going to go for some type of just trying to contain. He's got, what is this, 5 gateways? Just got contaminated on his main. But it looks like our Zerg player actually snuck out 2 roaches there. And he's making him waste all these force fields. Or at least not really waste, but it's forcing them using them. Now he's just warping in stalkers down here. And Sickness is just going for a contain like nobody's business. I've never seen a Protoss player force a contain this long. And now these roaches are kind of stuck out in the open. And they don't have Burrow, and they're just getting picked off. So Sickness's pressure is just kind of, I guess I'm not really, this Zerg player, he's kind of out of his game since, I would say, because he hasn't teched to anything else. He hasn't made a Nidus Worm. He could easily just make a Nidus Worm, you know, up here somewhere, get his units out, and not have to deal with this crap in the front. Sitting up in a Zealot, probably could have said a probe, but if he comes out, he's just going to get picked off again. This is not going to work, buddy Zerg. I don't think this is going to work. You're going to need some other type of unit combination or some other attack method, because I don't see this working for him if he continues to just try and get roaches. There we go, Nidus Worm. Thank you. Thank you with the Nidus Worm. Where is that thing at? Having a way up here. So it'd be kind of stupid to attack now with the roaches, considering we spent the money on a Nidus Worm. Whoops. Still getting a hang of this new mouse. This roller is a little bit different. So if I accidentally do a little bit of this, that's just me messing up with the mouse there. So we got an Immortal coming out. Smart move, get the Immortal. Even throwing down some Spine Crawlers. He's going to go on the offensive with this Nidus Worm, so you definitely are going to need those Spine Crawlers for a little bit of defense, because we may see a counterattack from Sickness straight into the main of our Zerg player. And spreading out his roaches. But let's see what he's going for up here. So he's on 1 base with 5 gateways in a robo. Now he's making a Warp Prism. He finally did sneak out those creep tumors. He could probably send that observer over there and kill those off. That'd probably be a smart thing to do. But he's going to see this Nidus Worm. Yep, he sees the Nidus Worm. He's going to be completely aware there's a Nidus Worm popping up somewhere. There it is. It's popping up, that Nidus Worm popping up out of the ground, screaming. And we're going to have those roaches get in there pretty soon. 5 more roaches coming out. And he's going to see the Sickness is going to be aware of this. And it looks like he's scouting with this probe, looking for that Nidus Worm, I would assume. And all those roaches are in there. They're going to be popped out. We're going to have attack here at the front. We have 2 sentries up here at the front. And Immortal in that Warp Prism. Not sure where he's going to go with that. Probably not the smartest idea to attack like 15, actually more than that, roaches with a Immortal. What? And if he micros it like a pro, he may actually do something. But there's got sentries, more than enough sentries here to deal with this. And we might see a counterattack here at the bottom. Nope, not yet. But he's going to micro those, that Immortal with this Warp Prism. So Sickness, at first I thought this was kind of dumb, but I mean, even strategies may seem stupid, you know, in the moment, but if your opponent isn't ready for it, isn't trained against a strategy, even a bad strategy can work against a player who isn't equipped for it, because the strategy is only as good as the person who's playing against it, of course. Yeah, if you can get your opponent on tilt, they really don't know how to attack the problem. You know, even the weirdest of things can work out, and it looks like he's going to take this Immortal over here to kill off that Nidus Worm. Now he's got his roaches outside, and looks like, what was that? He sniped something. I think that was, I don't know what that was. I thought that was the observer, maybe? Something just exploded up there. Maybe it was a probe coming down to scout. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, just throwing down some force field. He definitely doesn't want to get swarmed in from the left and the right at the same time. But I think that's what our Zerg player is looking to do. He's attacking from the right there. Force field going off. Still no Burrow yet. He just lost so many roaches. Left 7 or 8 roaches there. He's bringing in 2 Immortals. And he's just making this like mini fortress outside of the Zerg player's base. This is reminding me of a Terran versus Zerg strategy I did, where I would wall them off with like an engineering bay and a bunker, and then I would put down a planetary fortress next to the bunker and upgrade it, or put down a command center and then upgrade it to a planetary fortress next to their expo, and it was just basically something they couldn't do. But if he's just going to micro these Immortals, Just one-shotting. That's pretty funny. And this Zerg player just doesn't know what to do, and it looks like he's trying to attack, but force fields are just completely controlling these roaches, and he's attacking from behind. He needs to bring those immortals in, but he might have enough stalkers and photon cannons to deal with this. It looks like he's just warping in reinforcements straight into the fight. Those 2 mortals coming in from the back, he's just going to micro and pick those up as soon as they get low. Very nice. And these roaches look like they're just going to get completely broken at this point, and he is still on 1 base. This is still a 1 base game for each of our players. Roach is trying to kill those sentries. He needs to kill those sentries to, delay all those force fields. They're just been controlling him this whole game. Even after he got those cannons out, he's just been using those sentries, just rallying them from all the way from his base to control this front entrance. So now the photon cannons are down. He doesn't have any vision. He doesn't have an observer. It'd be really nice if he could get burrow and just kind of burrow up there and then pop up. That'd be kind of smart. But he's going to do some more harassing with this warp prism. Let's see what he's going to do. He's trying to get some shots off on that spine crawler before it even attacks him. That's pretty ballsy. Oh, actually, sorry, he does have that observer up here at the top, so he could see the burrowed units. But actually, he can shoot those units. Wait, maybe not. He actually did. Wow, he's killing units with this warp prism micro. Anyways, we've got the attack roaches coming out, but they're just going to get crushed. I think our Zerg player just kind of doesn't know what to do at this point. He's just kind of confused, and he's just kind of moving into this fight, and it's pretty much game over at this point. Our Protoss player with this ridiculous control is even expanding up here finally at like the 16-minute mark. But yeah, definitely saw some excuse me, interesting play from our Protoss player. At the beginning I thought, well, this is stupid. He's wasting so much money, but our Zerg player just didn't have an answer to it, and maybe he could have went with the Nidus a little bit sooner and got some Hydras out, got for a Roach Hydra, and that's the door, but it's just a delivery man, so he can suck it. Anyway, yeah, our sickness is actually, I was kind of confused at the beginning, but now I'm kind of actually a little bit impressed by his play, especially with this Warp Prism Immortal dropping stuff. That's pretty sweet. Anyways, it looks like our Zerg player is going to give up here pretty soon. Roach is still streaming out to the fight. And there we got a well won. I think that's what that stands for, well won. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this game. NEXSickness, maybe we'll see him in the next GSL Season 4. Maybe he'll qualify and show us how to contain a Zerg player's Protoss. Not just at the beginning of the game to be a pain in the ass, but through the entire game, just contain for 18-minute contain against a Zerg to 1 base. So I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and check my YouTube page for more games and other type of stuff I like to commentate on. Some of my own games and some other co-commentaries with other high-level diamond players, or I should say future master level players. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.